Hi, my name is Carl Peterson. I'm the Senior Manager for Special Projects at the Charter Cities Institute. I'm here today with Alex. Alex, would you please introduce yourself for us?
Great to be here. Thank you very much for having me. My name is Alex Voss. I'm here on behalf of Tipolis, which is a Singapore company looking to build what we call international cities, which would certainly fall under the rubric of charter cities, broadly speaking.
Right. And can you tell me more about what Tipolis does on the day-to-day?
Yeah, sure. So Tipolis, on a day-to-day basis, particularly my role within Tipolis, I'm the CFO of the company, but also the head of Americas. At this stage, we're really in the stage of trying to generate interest in these sorts of projects and strike the right deals and the right arrangements with the right host nations. So that means that my day-to-day job is often traveling around, mostly in the Americas, given my role, to actually negotiate with governments in this region to explain to them why we think this is a good project, what we need from them, which is not money, it's not land or anything like that. It's rather we need a special legal regime, a piece of legislation to be passed, and why we need that and what will result because of that. The other role is as CFO, which is largely in arranging the right structuring and the right capital structure for projects like the one in Brunei that I think we'll talk about in just a minute.
Great. I think maybe we'll start with the project in Brunei, and I have some other questions, but I'd love to hear more about that project.
Yeah, our project in Brunei is a relatively recent development. We signed an agreement in February of this year with the Brunei Economic Development Board under oversight from government authorities to establish what we're now calling Brunei Economic City. Brunei Economic City will be very much in the vein of Tipolis International Cities. It will have a high degree of autonomy. It will be a relatively large development, a greenfield project, trying to build a new city and attract investment into Brunei.
Great. What do you think has been the biggest challenge so far in trying to get projects going for Tipolis?
Well, I think there's a ton of interest in the space. We do have a lot of success in speaking with governments. The challenge seems to be we simply do ask for a very high degree of autonomy. And so, people are very interested to have a conversation with us and say, we would like, your sort of project. We would like the direct investment that it would bring. We like the jobs that it would bring and the entrepreneurial actions. Then we really get down to the nitty gritty and start going through, okay, well, what does this exactly mean? And, it is true that there are certain constitutional limits in certain places. There are certain legal limits in other places. But frankly, in most cases, the limiting factor is the political will to really stand behind something. And it is admittedly a very, potentially controversial project. It's a very big scale project, and it is something that a politician would be putting their neck out on the line for. And so overcoming that hurdle is challenging. I think with a few more successful case studies, it becomes a lot easier. It's no longer as, crazy and unique, but rather, a tried and tested model.
Who do you think are maybe some of the other members of the broader sort of innovative governance or charter cities ecosystem that you think are doing a good job right now?
Oh, sure. I think it's a relatively small ecosystem, and I think, interestingly, almost all of the competitors or co-opetition, as I like to call them, are doing something slightly unique. I mean, obviously, what you all are doing here in Africa is slightly of a different focus than what Tipolis does, and I think that that's absolutely been great for the space. I know Mark has had some other projects in different regions of the world, and certainly we're big supporters of that. Certainly the big names like Prospera and Morazan, I think, are both doing some things very well, and there's a lot to learn from. It's very difficult to be pioneers and leaders in the industry. It's very easy to critique from the sidelines, but I would broadly see what they've been able to accomplish as commendable. I think I'm very happy to see more and more entrants into the space, and I think a Rendeavour like what they're doing here in Africa is a great standard to point to, even if they've come at it slightly less from the autonomy or sort of charter city angle. The fact that they've done it and done it successfully is a great model that we can all learn from.
Great. And it's the second day of our summit here. So what are your thoughts on the New City Summit?
I thought the New City Summit has been an excellent experience. It's extremely well organized. The team's been great, from the last details of logistics up through, all the impressive and interesting panels that we've had. A lot of big name, keynote speeches. It's really been enjoyable. And of course, having a couple of cocktail hours in the evening overseeing the national park next door is certainly the kicker on top.
Absolutely. Alex, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Carl.